Hi everyone, welcome to thunderbaytrees.ca. My name is Jay, and today we're starting something new, something that I'm calling the Armchair Arborist. And what that is a segment that I'm going to be featuring from time to time where we don't actually talk about trees per se. We're going to talk about maybe technologies or websites or books maybe that help us enjoy or heighten our tree experience without actually looking at a tree or per se. In this one I want to review an iPhone application called TreeID, and I downloaded this one a couple months ago. I think it was for like $3.99 or something like that. Not all that expensive, certainly way cheaper than you would than any book would be if you were to buy any tree books. They usually run $15, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60 and more. So this one's called TreeID. It was developed out of the States. And I want to show you let's see if it's going to work. And I just want to walk you through a little bit and kind of give you some of my impressions on this software, on this application. Okay, so there's a few sections here on the application. There's Idea Tree, browse by common name, browse by scientific name, browse by fall foliage, and then there's just a little bit of information on the actual application. So let's take a look at Idea Tree. I think this is kind of a cool little thing. In here you have probably, I didn't count them, but probably about 30 or maybe even more different characteristics of trees. From leaf type to bark, texture, and all kinds of different things, color, all different things. So for example, let's take a look at leaf arrangement. So you click leaf arrangement, and so we have opposite, alternate, or world. Well, if you're new to this, you may not know what opposite, alternate, or world is. So if you hit the little question mark right beside, it gives you pictures and a little write-up, alternate, opposite, and world. And then from there you can kind of figure out what best describes the sample you're looking at, the branch or whatever you may be looking at, whatever part of the tree. Not bad. The one issue I found with this section is that it's a little bit tricky to get the right species. I know I have a white birch. I've tried this, and it was a little tricky actually making the application say white birch based on my best, my best information that I put in, the best I interpreted the look and the different characteristics of that tree. Moving down, there's browse by common name. If you happen to know the common name of the plant, this is kind of handy. So if you know maybe you're looking at an ash tree of some sort, just type in ash, and then from there it lists all the ashes that are in this particular application. And from there you think, oh, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe green ash, yeah, maybe, or maybe it's black ash. From there you can kind of narrow it down. Again, not too bad, pretty helpful. Scientific name, again, if you happen to know your Latin names, if you're into this and you know some of the Latin names, some of the genus, maybe a pine is also known Pinus, Pinus. You can key in Pinus, hit search, and then it comes up with all the different Pinus. And there's quite a few. Okay, now what I want to do is I just want to show you what an actual kind of little profile of one of these trees looks like. So let's go with one that we know that definitely grows in the region, Pinus resinosa. It's pretty common. It's also known as red pine. So this is the main page here, the first page that the application takes you to, and it kind of gives you a little bit of information on red pine, some general information. Then along the bottom there's a little navigation buttons, so you can hit range. It gives you a range map, shows you where it grows naturally. Now a lot of these plants that are listed here as naturally occurring in different places, people like to move plants around, and I can pretty much guarantee you that you will find a Pinus resinosa somewhere in North America outside of those green spotches that the range map has. So again, just so you know that, that's where they're naturally occurring. Now leaf, you click the next one over, has a little brief description and shows a picture, nice little photograph there. And then also a picture of the bark, and again, a little bit more write-up. And then fruit, here we go, nice cone, and another little write-up, and again, a photograph. And for each tree species in this application, there's a little species profile like that. So it's a pretty handy little tool. I would warn folks that if it could be frustrating if you don't know a little bit about trees before you start using this, because it can just be a little bit tricky, especially if you're trying to identify a tree. I think there's other resources out there that are just better. I don't know of any applications for an iPhone that are any better. If I can learn of any, I'll let you guys know. But definitely there's some tree books, I should say, that are much better. And I think in a future episode, I'm going to share with you some of the books in my library that I found very helpful over the years, and ones that I would recommend that are like essentials in a tree enthusiast's library. And then the final one is Browse by Fall Foliage. And then there it lists all the different fall foliage, and has in these sections, it has photographs of what the fall color looks like for those particular trees. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. If you have an iPhone or an iPod Touch, I'd encourage you, if you're into trees, to try it out. You know, if you're willing to spend the $3.99 or whatever it is. And also let me know if you do download it and try it out. Let me know what you think. If you learn anything new or interesting, anything that's applicable to Thunder Bay. You know, and maybe also if you do try this, point out the weaknesses, because there are a few weaknesses of this application when related to Thunder Bay. You know, we're in zone like 3, and this was developed in the States, and you can tell that it was developed in the States where it's a little bit warmer, although there's quite a few species that do grow naturally in Canada in this application. But if you find any weaknesses as you're using it in and around Thunder Bay, let me know. I'd love to find out about it, and maybe that might be a feature for a future episode. So till next time, my name is Jay, and I am with ThunderBayTrees.ca, where we talk about anything as long as it's related to trees in and around Thunder Bay.